Hello, and welcome to the Narrowing Path, Walking the Spiritual Walk. My name is Steve Van Eierstein. Thank you, everybody, for joining me today for the July 12th reading of James Allen's Daily Meditations. I'm really encouraged by how July has been going. I'm looking forward to the 12th. Yesterday's was just great. And the ending line, that the seen is the mirror of the unseen, just ended that beautifully. Ended that reading yesterday beautifully. So I'm looking forward to see where it gets taken into today. So this will be fresh to you and fresh to me, meaning this will be the first time I hear it or read it on this podcast with you. So you'll get my genuine response, reactions, observations, and what I relate to about the reading. So right, here we go. So here we go. This is July 12th reading from James Allen's Daily Meditations. Energy to be productive must not only be directed towards good ends, it must be carefully controlled and conserved. The advice of one of the great teachers to his disciplines, the advice of one of the great teachers to his disciples, keep wide awake, tersely expresses the necessity for tireless energy if one's purpose is to be accomplished, and is equally good advice to the salesman as to the saint. Eternal vigilance is the price of liberty, and liberty is the reaching out of one's fixed end. It was the same teacher who said, "If anything is to be done, let a man do it at once. Let him attack it vigorously." The wisdom of this advice is seen when it is remembered that action is creative, that increase and development follow upon legitimate use. To get more energy, we must use to the full that which we already possess. Only to him that puts his hand vigorously to some tasks do power and freedom come. Noise and hurry are so much energy running to waste. Wow. We've talked about this a couple of times, but it's not a common topic to be brought up, but the proper allocation of time and energy is crucial. It's very, very important because we can waste a lot of time. Today, there's so many distractions, whether it comes from reality TV shows or any TV shows, streaming services, video games, just YouTube apps, like the short little video clips. It comes in a lot of ways. The partying, the dating, the things we do to just get out of ourselves and get out of this moment so we don't pay attention to how we're actually feeling. That last line I love, noise and hurry are so much energy running to waste. Where we just take actions frivolously, where there's no intention behind what we're doing. It's pretty sad, actually, from what I can tell and what I experienced. It's pretty sad. So, appropriate use of energy and time. That's what this one's talking about. So, let's get this going. Energy to be productive must not only be directed towards good ends. It must be controlled and conserved. I think we talked about this at one point. Energy and attention directed at the proper goal and in the proper amount. Right? These are two characteristics. Because if we don't, we'll overexert ourselves and we'll burn ourselves out before we even get to the goal. Right? Appropriate energy. So, the advice of one of the great teachers to his disciples: keep wide awake. Pretty simple statement, but I like how he goes into it. Tersely expresses the necessity for tireless energy if one's purpose is to be accomplished, and is equally good advice to the salesman as to the saint. Keep wide awake. Necessity for tireless energy if one's purpose is to be accomplished. So we have to do this appropriately. We have to appropriately give of ourselves in the appropriate areas. Don't waste an hour and a half staring at a phone screen that's going to do nothing for you. Just let you escape into another reality for a little bit of time. It does nothing for you. Don't play video games all night. Don't just go out drinking. Be intentional with what you do. Be appropriate with the energy you expend, because you need to keep that tasked out throughout a day. You need to keep that appropriately portioned so you can work and you can effectively perform the tasks that are put in front of you. And I like how he ends it with, and it's equally good advice to the salesman as to the saint. This is advice that everyone can take heed of. Everyone can take a look at their appropriate exertions. We have another quote here he goes into. Eternal vigilance is the price of liberty. It's a pretty good quote. And liberty is the reaching one's fixed end. Interesting. Liberty is the reaching of one's fixed end. So where you get the opportunity to go and explore, to have that freedom, that's what a fixed end is. So to reach one's fixed end, eternal vigilance is the price of liberty. So maintenance, attention, keeping yourself aware is the price of liberty, and liberty is the reaching of one's fixed end. Interesting. Let's go on to the next sentence. It was the same teacher who said, if anything is to be done, let a man do it at once. Let him attack it vigorously. I like that. Procrastination is something that I found myself associated with, found myself, unfortunately, practicing. And so when I read something like this, and James Allen has another book called Out from the Heart, I believe. Hold on. Yes, Out from the Heart, and it's some step-by-step instructions on how to live a spiritual life, and which is really really cool. But one of them is to accomplish all tasks immediately as they are presented, rather than putting them off and letting them pile up, which I'm terrible about. And that's not completely true. I'll give myself some honest credit here. I do it really well in some areas. Others I don't. Some things I'll do as they come right in front of my face. Other things I'm waiting. Other things I'm going to do this, this, and this all in that 1 hour block tomorrow. And I'd usually still avoid it. And it's usually because it's some fear associated with it, some anger, frustration, some old belief about those tasks. Or it could be just as simple as I don't like doing them. So if anything is to be done, let a man do it at once. Let him attack it vigorously. Well, because another thing too is if we don't do it immediately, if we don't actually perform the task when it appears or when it presents, we're just going to think about it. It'll be something at the back of our minds permanently. It'll be something that will be constantly reminding us that we have something to do. We actually sacrifice parts of our peace because we are practicing procrastination. That's what I found. And even though I know that, I still do it. I try, I do a lot better on it. Sometimes I don't even catch myself though. Then I look back and I'm like, there it is, right there. But I get better at it. James Allen says about this quote, the wisdom of this advice is seen when it is remembered that action is creative, that increase and development to follow upon legitimate use. Like that, when you're actually moving towards your goal, when you're actually accomplishing tasks and having direction and you're using your energy effectively, that and you have peace and you're actually accomplishing your task, creativity can be born from that more freely, can't it? Creativity is actually something that you can embrace more because you have the freedom to do it. You have the freedom to allow it into your life and allow it space. But if you haven't been doing these things, if you haven't been attacking your tasks vigorously and get it done at once, you'll always have this haunting thought, lingering memory. Sometimes you don't even know that's what it is, but it's something you have to be doing. To get more energy, we must use to the full that which we already possess. If we're wasting time and we're wasting energy and wasting resources, why would we ask for more? Where would we find more? We're not effectively using what we've been blessed with already and given. I need to look to myself first if I need to find more time or more energy to see where I'm misappropriating things. Because the reality of it is, there's always effective improvement I can make. So far in my life, I've found that to be true. I mean, how many scrolls on social media can I get rid of? How many TV shows can I get rid of? How much I don't even play them anymore just because they were such a distraction. Video games can I get rid of? These things I really do try to eliminate from my life, and I don't participate in as much as some, but still more than I'd prefer because I feel like it is a waste of time. And I don't mean for that to come off as condemning to anyone, but for myself, that is time that is much better spent doing something else. So I do make that attempt to try to do better about that. Eliminate the opportunity for distraction. So I can effectively use what I've already been given. And those days where I feel like I've done that and I've gone through and I've accomplished each task and I've handled myself physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. I've connected with other people. I've put myself out there. I feel the most energized when that happens, which is amazing to me. I get more of that energy when I'm effectively using my energy. It's amazing. Only to him that puts his hand vigorously to some task do power and freedom come. Peace of mind, doing the right thing, completing the things that are put in front of us, doing in the 12-step community, and I think it's spread into general practice, is doing the next right thing and doing it to the best of your ability and completely is the second part of that. Don't half-ass it, excuse my language, but it's important because through doing that, power and freedom can come, and it's more freedom than you'd ever expect. I feel as though I've tasted some of it, probably not nearly to the grand extent that is possible, but even the small experiences I've had have been just blissful, peaceful, serene, content, happy. So these 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 are good lessons. These are good practices, and you'll achieve so much more when you start giving appropriate attention and energy to the correct things. It's amazing, actually. So, and then that last line I already talked about a little bit, but noise and hurry are so much energy running to waste. Distraction and anxiety and fear and the hustling and bustling. It doesn't, for myself, when I'm rushing around trying to get things done, I want them to get done and being having anxiety and worrying and fear and becoming aggressive or confrontational to make sure I get things done the way I think they should be done at the exact moment they need to be done and inconveniencing not only myself but everyone else around me. I find things take more time, which seems odd, but the reality of it is when I calmly and peacefully and purposefully execute the plan for my day, I get a whole lot farther, guys. So try that for yourself. I promise you won't be disappointed. So, all right. Well, that ends it for today, July 12th. Just a great reminder about procrastination and to effectively and appropriately allocate your time and energy in the right direction, and you'll accomplish more than you ever thought possible. Through the help of the God of your understanding and the appropriate attention, you'll be amazed where you end up. That's for sure. I know I am. So, thank you all for joining me today, and I look forward till tomorrow's. Until next time, thanks.